Hey, what's up everybody? Bdf coming at you with another video. I am running behind schedule, running late. I will definitely be walking in there past 2 o'clock the way things are going, unless I catch a bus there. And I'm not waiting for one, so we just gonna march, and see if I can beat my normal time walking down the street to the train station. But yeah, man, this was a day where I had a little issue last night with my stomach, and because of it, I did not wake up feeling good. I needed a little extra rest to get out of bed. And I think I woke up earlier, actually. I woke up at about 7 initially, and did a little meditating, and it was basically one of those things where it was like, all right, let's go back to sleep. That was the energy I got. A little lightheaded, go back to sleep. I went back to sleep, woke up at 10:15, and I'm like, oh man, please. Therapy's at 2. You know how long it takes me to do all my exercise. You know I'm not going to deviate from my exercise. It's part of me getting up in the mornings, eating and all that. So I did everything, had to shave. My head didn't look right. It would have been great if I didn't have that task to do, but it had to be done. So it's just like, man, Jesus, let me just get out of bed, rush through this workout. But as I'm doing the workout, I'm a little lightheaded. So I'm like, man, this ain't my day. But I said, screw it, let me do everything I do normally, rush through breakfast, which I did, and rush out of that place. And so I actually made better time than I thought. It's about 12:36. For me to be on time, I usually try to be out by 12, maybe 15, 12:20. So I'm definitely behind schedule, but not by a massive amount. But I will be late if things go the way they're supposed to. With my time. And here go this dog again. This dog's always hanging out over here. Same little dog. He has a little girlfriend, or maybe that's the girl. Look just like him. Maybe it's their sister, brother. I don't know. I always see these little puppies, and they're always hanging around this gate. They're always on this little corner. Sometimes they be walking in the middle of the street, and you have to keep telling them, move on. Don't go in the middle of the street, buddy. Hey. I'm not chasing you, I'm just trying to go down the street. Hello, buddy. Hey, what's up? Hello, buddy. Hello. Hey. So yeah, here. Every day, see that dog. But anyway, man, so this is one of those situations where I try my very best to get here on time. I feel a lot better, 100% right now. I don't feel any sickness whatsoever. Yesterday, by way of everything I had going on, I was forced to stay in the house. Missed a very beautiful day yesterday to get out. Wasn't too thrilled about that, to be honest with y'all. I really wasn't. Because what I ended up having to do, because the Lakers played at 12:30 and Bible studies at 4:30, is stay in the house. It was hot, but the air conditioning worked out. I mean, hot as in I would have loved to have gotten out and walked around. So yeah, that was a bit of an adjustment, I guess you can say. But the Laker game went fantastic. My team won, and in dramatic fashion against a very, very, very good team. So that was great to see. And then Bible study went very well. Not too long after that, I did some art yesterday as well after the game. I had made a playlist. The Delete CD 413. It's really solid, eclectic, kind of alternative music and R&B. Blended some things. It came out well. Didn't reinvent the wheel as it pertains to the style of playlist that I make, but it was a good entry. I encourage y'all to check that out. Did the art for that, uploaded it, posted it, all that good stuff. So yeah, man, it was a lot of creativity these last couple days. A lot of art. I'd be lying if I said I remember exactly what happened on Saturday. I don't think I left the house on Saturday either. I don't remember why. Did I leave it? No, I was exhausted. That's what happened. Because I had that heavy backpack on Friday, lugging that after doing the hill. I might have overexerted on Friday with all that I had going on. I don't think I did a video on the way back home, but that backpack was heavy, man. I did some heavy grocery shopping. So everything that I had to lug, I was lugging. and that was a little much. So I think Saturday I was wiped out. After breakfast, I just decided to lay down, sleep. Got up and what did I do? Watch some highlights on the game that was yesterday. Made sure I stayed up to date on the homework that needed to be done for that game. And didn't really do a whole lot on Saturday. Did not do a whole lot on Saturday. Did a lot of sleeping. So I've been in the house for 2 days. Did not necessarily appreciate that. Wasn't a fan of that, but trying to, keep up with my body and just understand that I'm still dealing with all these different things. I don't know what made me sick this last night, to be honest with you. I hate to think that it was tea, because I told you guys that homegirl from the front desk had brought me some oranges, and then I also was given some chamomile tea and some I think it was another type in there too, maybe some type of cinnamon. So I tried one of the chamomiles. Chamomile is one of my favorite teas. Was that the difference? Did my body not react well to chamomile tea? Like, I don't know. I mean, my body had trouble with oregano, so I have to assume it was the tea. If it wasn't the tea, then the only other thing that I deviated was the cough medicine. Not cough medicine, but the preventative medicine that I often put in drinks to try to keep your immune system up. I've never had any issues with that. I've been drinking that a lot lately, so it shouldn't have been a problem to have that at all. So I'm thinking it was the tea. So this doctor's appointment couldn't come sooner enough. Unfortunately, we're still 2 months out. So yeah, my body doesn't react well to literally anything. I didn't even I didn't as much put lemon or sugar in the chamomile tea, but I think it was the tea itself. So I don't know, man. I don't know, but doing the best I can. So that was a little bit of trouble, and ended up dealing with that all night. Woke up lightheaded, and all of that kind of catered to me oversleeping today. So yeah, man, it is what it is. But like I said, I feel good right now. I needed some walking, some sunlight, and I'm getting it, and that's really what I'm thankful for. Didn't want to be in the house yesterday, but the dang schedule kind of stuck me to it. So Lakers only got 4 more games left. Very much looking forward to the regular season being over, man. The schedule's been too much. It's been way too much. I'm looking forward to the summertime. Looking forward to time where basketball has nothing to do with my life, at least for 3-4 months, like it's supposed to be. It's a regular off season to be good. I'll be ready back in October when it come back around. But I'm officially tired of this. I'm tired of the NBA schedule. It is a burden this year, the way they set it up. And the playoffs won't be as difficult because there won't be as much homework to do. There won't be as much condensed games in theory. So we'll see how the playoffs are scheduled. But this regular season was a burden. It was a burden on us all, believe me. I don't know what possessed them to put so many back-to-backs and so many games condensed in so little time. I think it has something to do with them incorporating the tournament into the situation. The in-season tournament. They're still trying to figure out how to schedule that while having the irony of different matchups being the way they want it to be. It was very ridiculous this year. So yeah, man, that's what I have to say about that. But it's pretty hot today. It's not like hot. It's probably about 82, something like that, which is hotter than what we've been dealing with. A lot of bipolar weather back and forth. We had days when it was raining. Last week it was days when it was 80 something. So we're just going up and down with the weather. And it hasn't been bad. It's been pretty. In fact, I've been upset that I've been missing out on some really good days, which is a far cry from where I was when I lived in Lenox, because I would let hot days go by. I sleep during the day. I didn't care about no pretty weather. I just wanted my isolation. Complete opposite now. It's like, man, today is too nice to be sitting in this unit. But dedication to the Bible study, dedication to basketball, keep you in place, keep you in this position to do what it is that you're supposed to do. So That's what the Lord was telling me. It's like your dedication is what you're really reaction to. It's your relentless dedication and consistency. And there are a lot of people who would deviate from that to meet whatever they want to meet. They just tell Uncle, hey, I ain't gonna be there for Bible study, or they just wouldn't do a Laker video. But me, the way that I'm trying to be going forward, and the way that I've been for a little while now, is I don't do that. I will sacrifice whatever I have to make sure that what I'm doing consistently is continued to be met. And that's what's required to be successful in the business of content creation, is to be relentless. That's what Joe Budden was talking about on one of his pods very recently, is the dedication necessary to make sure that you're successful. You got to be somebody people can rely on week in, week out, day in, day out, for years, not just for a time, but for years. And so that's really what it's about. It's maintaining that dedication and that focus and not deviating from it for anything. And even when you don't feel like it, you stick to it. So when it comes to Bible study, I can legitimately say I haven't missed a Bible study since I've started this process. For my own standards and for the honor of what my uncle wants to do, I'll be ready every week. And some weeks, I've been wanting to do other things with my time, but I never give myself an option. I never even consider it. My priority is the consistency of my reputation, consistency of my practice, consistency of the word I'm trying to receive, and being part of what my uncle wants me to be a part of as well on top of that. So that's what it is, man. It's consistency and dedication and alignment with the Holy Spirit to help motivate that. And so, yeah, man, I'm of the mindset that now this is the same when it comes to coming down the street right now, walking down here trying to get to the therapy. Consistency. If I have a session scheduled, go. If it's snowing, it's raining. Y'all saw me go in the rain last year. It was one day it was raining so hard, I was stumping through puddles and stuff like that, and rain was coming down hard on my face. I didn't care, man, because I had something scheduled. And so that dedication is what we're talking about today. I want to keep that going. So, yeah, man, there are some things, man. I told y'all I don't want to be the guy that tells you what's going on specifically. You don't come to me for specifics of what's going on in Gaza. I talk about what I've seen already. I talk about the bigger picture. I talk about, getting frustration out as it pertains to, shaming those who are supporting this and who are doing this. But I'm not the guy saying, hey, this is what's going on there. This is what's going on specifically here. But I can tell you something last night happened that is worth talking about. And that was yet another attack on tents. And there's a very prominent image of yet another person. This ain't the first one. We've seen burning alive from being bombed in a tent. Another man, you see it, everything that there is to see it with an image like that. It's nothing easy to look at, man. And that's what I want to say to people. Saw another person burning yesterday. And a lot of people saw it too, not just me. Many of us who are paying attention, many of you may have seen it. But I'm here to tell you that this ain't the first one. It was a guy who was burning with an IV in his arm about a year ago. And we saw him burning. It's the second guy I've seen in that regard. And you see footage of bodies and babies being carried, and people crying over their dead daughter. I saw a guy crying over his dead daughter. These are not new images, unfortunately. They're new as in it just happened. But we've seen all of this. All this before, and that's really what it comes down to. But we've seen all this before. We have seen little ones just as small as the kid I just seen right now, long gone because of what this regime of American government and Israeli government and religious fanatics and politicians are springing forward to happen. They are doing this to these people, and they're always attacking the kids, man. As I've said this 170 times, they are targeting minors. You understand what I'm saying? That's who they're targeting. That's who they're hoping to kill every time they bomb somebody. They want to kill as many of the next generation as possible to wipe out their race. That's the whole point. They want to wipe out their race. That's why the target is children. I believe I've articulated that a million different ways, but that's the way I want to say it right now. They're not interested in targeting armies, killing grown men, because they know children grow up to be breadwinners, grow up to be family men and family women. They give birth. You cut them down as babies, and you cut down the next generation. Then you can just kill the men off after all the babies are gone, and the men and the women are staggered from losing their children. They can kill all the men off, and there won't be no more Palestinians left. Don't let anyone lie to you about what's going on there. I don't care if it's your president. I don't care if it's Congress. I don't care if it's some of these supporters, counter protesters. I don't care what anyone tells you. I'm telling you what I've seen with my own eyes, my very own eyes. These people are targeting children to slaughter them so that they can annihilate a race of people. That is all this is about. Or it's not all it's about. That's a lie. That's not all it's about. It's about many things. But the main thing is that. To annihilate the entire race. So there ain't none of them left. To fulfill a prophecy that they have in their books. That they believe they're supposed to be fulfilling. To wipe out the sons of Amalek. Okay? And so as a result, in our generation, this generation of people who are alive today, if you're paying attention to this, you get to be traumatized by this. As they're doing it with the technology available to us to see it. This is what is happening. This is what has been happening for 547 days or something like that. Maybe even more. And they had a little ceasefire because America's what's powering this. The ceasefire wasn't real. It was just a little pause so that we can shift from Biden to Trump. They can get things going with Donald Trump and get right back to it. And that is exactly what you're seeing there. That is what's happening there. They're trying to annihilate a race of people to fulfill a prophecy. And then furthermore, in a conjoint effort with colonialism, white supremacist colonialism, they're looking to do what colonialism does, which is steal land and annihilate indigenous people. That's what's happening there. It's not deeper than that. It's the same old song. It's just two conjoined efforts of evil moving along in conjunction with one another to fulfill their own intentions in this situation. And so I tell all of y'all, man, let's stay focused. Stay focused. Align with your understanding of what it is that you want to be in this situation. Don't be confused. Don't be confused by demonic energy like this. Don't be confused by that. It's not meant to do anything but distract from the focus of what true evil is actually doing, which is annihilating people systematically, government-wise. Government-wise. Israel is trying to annihilate Palestinian children so that more Palestinian people will not be present in the future they're trying to create. Pure hatred and powering up from within demonic and devilish intentions that inspire them is what is ultimately making this possible. What's making them do this. And so I'm telling all of y'all, stay mindset, keep your mindset, keep your focus throughout all distractions. keep paying attention to people who are showing us what's going on here. Start paying attention to these people. Don't take my word for it. The footage is there for you to visualize, to see. It will traumatize you. It will turn your stomach. And if you watch as much of it as I did, it will stop turning your stomach and just make normal to you, because that's exactly what happens to the human mind when you see enough of this crap. It stops finding, you stop seeing it in your dreams. It just starts becoming something that you just expect to see in your phone. And that's what's happening here, man. A lot of us have gotten to a point where we are desensitized to the understanding that this is not supposed to be. You're not supposed to see children dead in your phone. You're not supposed to see people burning alive in tents. You're not supposed to hear about people raping people, and then furthermore, people supporting that, trying to bust down prisons to free people who've raped people just because of the society that supports that is aligned with these immoral behaviors pointed at people they call their enemies, of whom they're really just bullying, torturing, and ultimately want to harm them. You know, it's one of the situations where I look at this and I say, I was listening to this guy who says he's a Jew, which I don't agree with. I don't think he's a Jew at all, but he's essentially saying his people have been kicked out of every place they've ever been for thousands of years. And his solution is to steal land from someone else, because he's mad at the world for not allowing him to be who he wants to be, which is chosen above everybody else. He ain't find nowhere safe to be, I guess, in his mind, as a people. So they got to dispel other people, and then furthermore, shun them, hate them, because they won't die fast enough or something, like, I don't know. And it never dawns on him, never dawned on his people, that the reason why they be getting kicked out everywhere they go is because they keep being evil toward people when they get there. They keep on trying to be better than people when they get there. They don't know how to be humble in this space from which is chosen. If they truly believe themselves to be chosen, why they got to rub it in everybody else's face? Why do they afford themselves special treatment? If you're already chosen by God, you don't need to afford yourself any special treatment. That's supposed to be already understood, is it not? Is it supposed to already be worked into the equation? It's just like I always say in our culture. People who are real don't have to often always tell everybody, hey, I'm the realest, I'm always real, I will keep it real. You're just going to be that. If you're chosen, you're just going to be that. That's why they just do a terrible job of representing themselves the way the chosen people actually would, because they're not chosen. They're faking it. It's a fake pantomime. It's not real. Real chosen people don't have to run around pretending like they're chosen, because they are. They have no insecurities about people not accepting them or allowing them in the land or nothing like that, because that's not going to be something they have to worry about as the chosen people of God. Those who are faking it always do too much. Those who are faking it always exaggerating. Those who are faking it always trying to make something more in regards to their representation than what is actually necessary for those who truly inhabit or harbor what it is that they're talking about. They are or they have. You have to fake it, you have to exaggerate. You have to be insecure in the presence of displaying what you actually are. This is what you are. I ain't got to run around and act like I'm black. I am black. What the hell does it even mean? See what I'm saying? For those who are not, who want to run around and embody a culture without actually having that skin, they're going to run around and act black. Not respect anybody, because a lot of y'all are really good people, but like, you're acting something because it's not what you are. You're behaving as something that you think represents something that doesn't even fully embody it. And if you were on the inside of what it is to actually be black, then you would know that was ridiculous. You look like a fool in a lot of cases. But trying to act like something you're not. Like that for which makes us who we are, makes it so that we understand certain things about being black, tells us that we don't have to act no kind of way to embody that truth. It is what it is. It's not a behavior, it's a being. People who are faking it always want to exaggerate. They always harbor some type of stereotype to help reinforce what it is that they want as an identity. They ain't who you really are. That's why you're not acting like it is, because you don't embody the truth of what it is. And say too for those who say they are chosen. If they were chosen, they'd have a connection with God to know they ain't supposed to do none of this. And those who are chosen by God can clearly see they not. Because they're pretending like they're chosen, but they don't actually embody the truth about what it is to be chosen. They don't have that choice in them, so to speak. That chosen nature is not there. They're faking it. This is what we've come to understand. A person who's truly chosen is not acting like they're chosen. They're not insecure about losing their position and being chosen, at least of all amongst people that they're supposedly better than. That's an act. That's not real. You don't have to do that if you're really chosen. That's not what you're going to feel you have to do. They fear people who can't harm them, who don't have as much as them, who are not chosen by God, yet they supposedly are, who don't control anything. They want to control people who have the very little and the very least. And they look at those people and fear them. Why do you harbor all of this? If you're chosen by a living God, why do you harbor all of this? Why is all this even necessary? And then furthermore, that you are not chosen is proven in the fact that you ain't answered that question as you behave whatever way you do. That you don't even ask yourself that question. The chosen person gonna answer that question. The chosen person ain't gonna make it so that anyone like myself would even have to ask that question. Because it ain't necessary to when applying to somebody who's actually chosen. They're fake, man. They're phonies. They're devils. That's what they really are. They're actual living devils, man. They move like the enemy. They steal and try to justify it. They confuse. They inhabit things and try to make it what they want it to be, regardless if it's better for that way or worse for that. They move in such a way that it exploits and takes advantage of, pushing confusion off on others, living and embodying the confusion of themselves, not really knowing who they are, but definitely taking on someone else's identity and believing the lies that come with that. This devilish confusion, they move like the devil. They move in the devil's energy. They move on the devil's timing. They move with the devil's arithmetic. Literally, doing math his way. And it shows. And those of us who are truly aligned with the Holy Spirit, who align with God, we know it. We can see it. They may have the world confused. They may have the world defeated. But those of us who are actually aligned with God in whatever way we are, we're not. We don't fear them. We don't need to. We're secure in our understanding that there is a living God. I'm not wondering. I know. That's why I'm not aiming for what they're aiming for. That's why I'm not acting like them. That's why I'm not trying to be supreme over others. I don't have to do that. I'm secure. I know my God is supreme over me no matter if I'm chosen or not. See, that's the elephant in the room. They think they have to be above everyone else. For what? God's above you. What's the point? You're still underneath something. But it ain't gonna be us. It ain't gonna be you. It's like, that's insecurity speaking. You're not truly chosen for anything. You're small. And you're showing it to all of us. And the only ones who are confused are those who are just as lost as you in their own spaces. Not those who know themselves, who know God. Ain't nobody confused by that. Those who align with the Holy Spirit, who align with the timing of God, who align with the energy of the Creator. We're not lost in the space when you're sitting up here telling lies and embodying some type of phoniness and act. You're embodying an act. You don't even have the secrets in you that the chosen do. They help them understand why they shouldn't do what you do. And that's the secret amongst all of the chosen versus those who claim to be chosen who are not. That they're not like us, because if they were like us, then they would know that they're not supposed to do any of this. They would know that it ain't necessary to do any of this, that it's counterproductive doing all of this, that they don't gain anything from doing all of this, that they look foolish historically from doing all of this. So I'm saying, man, I want people to understand. Only people who are beholden to this energy are individuals who don't know God at all. People who are truly fearful of these individuals as it pertains to not speaking up against them and aligning with the stuff that they got going on because they're the winners in the world. You don't know God. If you knew God like you're supposed to know God, if you were connected with God like God wants to be connected with you, you would be speaking just like me. Because you ain't got nothing to fear when it comes to these people, because they don't actually harbor the understanding of what it means to truly be chosen. They don't harbor it. There are things that they need to know that would help them be what it is they're trying to be better. That's the secret. That's the secret of the Jew. A Zionist Jew specifically. That's the secret. If they were chosen, they would know some things that they don't know. They would feel some things that they do not feel. They would understand some things that they're displaying they do not understand. That's what the Lord has been putting in my heart that I haven't articulated in this camera. Not as clearly as I just did right here. They faking it. It shows in their energy. Not just in the history of where they actually come from, but in the distance that they actually have from a living God and his energy. They don't have that closeness with God. They don't know him. Whatever it is that's powering them to do what they do, whatever it is, whoever it is they're praying to, it ain't God. And those who know God know that. That's what people need to understand, man. There's a difference between believing in God and knowing him. There's a lot of people who believe in God. There's a lot of people who practice religion. There's a lot of people who pray to God religiously. And God bless them. They're trying to get that relationship. Then there are people who were born on this earth to understand God. They know God. They're connected with God and he speaks to them. Those people are not afraid of Israel. I'm just telling you right now, those people, they're not afraid of them. They're not afraid of them at all. If God's speaking to them like he's been speaking to me, they ain't afraid of Israel. They're not moved by any of this stuff that America's doing in the name of Israel, in the name of colonial practices, which will fail. Historically, they will fail. Places that will not be any safer than their spirit is for stealing the land. You understand what I'm saying? Those places will not be safe. If they build Gaza up to be some resort, it will not be a safe place for anyone to go for any given moment. It can be destroyed. It can be attacked. It can be hit with unnatural disasters. That's what I'm here to tell y'all. It's the presence of those they did wrong still in these colonial places that keep those places safe. They're trying to keep it so that there are no people there that were there. They're trying to annihilate the entire race. Spiritually, the secret is, if you annihilate all the people that God loves in that place and leave nothing but your colonial ass, he's likely going to destroy it. America still stands because the slaves are still here, because the natives are still here, because the Mexicans are next door. The indigenous people are still here. That's why this thing is still standing. It's the karma from our existence that makes it so that this thing even stands. You remove all the people that were originally in the land, it ain't gonna be nothing to keep God from destroying it. Nothing. That's the secret. If they were truly chosen by God, then they would know better than to play like that. Only thing that would keep them safe in this immoral and despicable practice is the presence of those who didn't deserve to be destroyed. People who God loved, who had connection with God, who had connection to the land that he gave them. Still present, still in the land, still praying, still connecting with the living God. You're going to remove all of them. You're trying to kill all of those people. It's a secret. This is not understood by the spiritually imbalanced and the spiritually incoherent. They don't understand this. The best thing a colonial demon ever did was bring himself to the land that he stole, people of color, people of God, people who pray, people who were chosen. He brought those people to the land that he stole and stumbled into a way to make it so that it was protected land. stumbled into a way to make it so that the Lord had no reason to destroy the whole damn thing. Yes. It was spiritual protection that the descendants of the slaves provide you, the descendants of the natives provide you. Spiritual protection. It's why this shit is still standing. It's why it hasn't fallen. And they're making a huge mistake there in Palestine/Israel by trying to remove all of those people from that land. Huge spiritual mistake. Massive. And they're going to try to make it an all Jewish/white supremacist land. And it's going to be all gone as soon as they do it. That thing ain't going to last 100 years, friends. It will not last 100 years. It's the presence of the Gazans that'll make that place as safe as it's been for those who were there who stole the land. You remove the nutrients from a fruit, it's the same thing. When you remove what makes something healthy from the food and you keep eating it, now it ain't healthy to eat no more. Same exact thing. Same exact thing. And so I'm telling you, they're going to try to annihilate the Palestinian people. And on many fronts. On many fronts, that is a spiritual mistake. And one that those who are connected with God, who are truly chosen, never would make. They would never make that mistake. They read energy backwards. They thought that they would get kicked out of this land. The Palestinian people would have welcomed the Zionist Jew onto the land. That's the irony of all of this. If they didn't come through looking to maim and annihilate and practice colonial structures and practices to destroy indigenous people in that land, they could have lived side by side with those people, just like they could have lived side by side with the natives. But they had to go through their sacrificial, demonic practices, which are absolutely and utterly unnecessary to harbor a land. You don't have to kill all the people on the land to have the land. It's not necessary. You can break bread with people. You can live with people. You can blend with people, and you will be family with people. 150 years flat. This is a choice to destroy people. It's a choice. It's a sacrifice, a spiritual one, a demonic one. To remove people from a land, to dominate a land out of insecurity. Victory? No, sir, I'm not certain. But that's the truth, man. They want to remove the fruit and the nutrients from the fruit. Remove the goodness from the land. It's no good. You leave yourself without. It's no good. Now all of a sudden all the Lord sees is you. Your thieving ass there. Not the people he put there. But see, when you believe there's no God, while simultaneously believe that he chose you for something, which utterly in and of itself just speaks to your confusion. The devil is confusing at that. Of course you're going to make spiritual mistakes, leave yourself vulnerable and destroy yourself, destroy others, make your reputation awful, and then stand on the lie that you tell to say, oh, this is what we are, this is what we're doing. No, it's none of this is true. This is confusion. You're lost. You're blindfolded. Spiritually blind. Moving in the direction that the devil wants you to go, moving away from the Lord in every way, shape, and form. Essence of the army of the devil. The essence of it is in these people's behavior and in their energy and in their practices. And furthermore, in their mistakes. And they will suffer. Because they read the energy wrong. They thought because this worked in America, worked in Australia, worked in Canada, worked everywhere that they've tried this, that they would be able to pull this off in Israel/Palestine. Not knowing why it worked. They didn't know why it worked. Why it worked? Because they weren't able to kill everybody there. There's still Aborigines there. in Australia. Even though they tried to annihilate all of them, they failed, just like they usually fail when they try to annihilate a whole race of people. This time, they're intentional or not, and there's much more technology on war fronts to assure that they're more successful than they've ever been. So if they effectively remove all the Palestinians from the earth, particularly from the land that the Lord gave them, well, now they're going to see what happens when that happens. Now you're going to see what that really looks like. There's a reason why the devil wants them to do that. You understand what I'm saying? There's a reason why the devil wants them to do that. As I told you a million times, the devil hates those who work for him just as much as he hates those who war with him. He hates himself. So whatever he engages in, he wants to see suffering destroyed and destructed. Just like the Lord wants to see the enemy destroyed, so too does the enemy want to see himself destroyed. And anything that aligns with him, he wants to betray. Anything that works with him, he wants to destroy and humiliate and put through massive amounts of immeasurable pain. This is what he wants to do to those who support him. So when he tells those who he controls to annihilate an entire race of people, he knows exactly what's going to happen to those who do that. And what he wants to have happen is exactly what I just said. Them to suffer the wrath of God. For without the presence of those that God would say, you know what, I'm holding this land, he will commit Sodom and Gomorrah on them once again. What did the Lord say about Sodom and Gomorrah? Can I find one reasonable person? Can I find a good person in this land? Don't you know that's how God has already proven to have worked? He's already told y'all that's how he operates. Is there anybody good here? No? Wipe this thing out. The devil wants them to wipe out all the people that are supposed to be there, all the children, all the women, all the good men, so that ain't nothing left but their colonial, lost, acting asses. And at that point, it ain't nothing there but something to clean up for the Holy Spirit. There's nothing there but people that need to be wiped out. That's all that's going to be there. People going to learn, man. They're going to learn. They're going to learn. Other peoples, other generations in the future will learn from the Israeli Jew, the Zionist Jew. They're going to learn the spiritual mistakes that they're making, the alignment with the devil's and his practices, the alignment with trying to be something that you're not, and furthermore, try and reinforce the lie by way of whatever it is you control. Trying to control all the things that would otherwise allow a lie to be lived in, instead of just living in the truth, which is so much easier. All of these different things that they try to do to control the world, only to lose it and themselves, however the Lord will see fit. And it's going to happen. They're going to lose it all. Everything. They will be the ones left behind. They will be the ones crawling back into the spaces from which the world does not want to be. The most uncomfortable spaces in the world is where they're going to be driven to. Antarctica, Sahara Desert and stuff. That's where these people are going to end up. You're going to see. People keep playing with God. God didn't already showed you he exists. He didn't show all of us a million times over through so many different things. Individually, collectively, as people, we have seen him, and yet there's still the ruling class that is controlled by the enemy, moving as if he doesn't exist, just to teach us all a lesson once again, to not play with him. Don't play with him. Do not harm his little ones. Do not lie on your neighbor. All these different things of sin. We didn't learn these lessons a million times, but there's still people with control of it all, yet again, to show us on the biggest platform that man is still capable of making decisions that make absolutely no sense against God in the name of his own ego, in the name of his own evil. Spiritually bankrupt and utterly lacking in self-awareness, and aligned with the enemy because of it. And furthermore, people who are on the fence about faith, or who are interested in money and different things that are touchable in life, instead of spiritual equity and spiritual wealth, them moving along with the devil as the NPCs that they are, non-playable characters that they are, looking to do nothing, be nothing, and ultimately die for nothing while trying to gain things that are going to be in somebody else's hands in the future. Spiritually stupid. Those are the ones, in this case, our American government, those are the ones that always enable the devil to enact his wrath upon his own supporters. Because they're always in line some kind of way to do something that ain't got no spiritual understanding to it whatsoever, to obtain something that can't be held on to past the grave. They're going to want just to have the ability to have the most frivolous stuff when it comes to spirituality. Money, temporary happiness, living a lie, hide their sins from the world while continuing to feed those demons. These are the things that a common NPC of a man and a woman is going to continue to allow the devil to enact his pain upon his own supporters and upon people who would otherwise praise God the most. That's your American government, a bunch of NPCs. Oh, we're going after money. I don't care if this makes any sense or not. I'm going to get mine. I'm going to get mine. You ain't even going to keep it. You're going to be disgraced for the stupid stuff that you do, for all your secrets. I don't care, because the Israel's the ones who are controlling everything, so we're just going to move along with it and take the money. It's lucrative. It makes money. You're an idiot. You haven't learned anything from your forefathers. How many generations of people made these mistakes? And you're going to make these same mistakes in real time? You're a moron. You're going to die just like them. In disgrace. Lacking in faith, lacking understanding, lacking connection with God. Just like so many came before you, who chose money over spiritual equity. Who chose worldly wealth that they couldn't take with them over their immortal soul. Stupid. Stupidity, man. Sometimes we got to see this movie. And in 2025, we still acting like we ain't learned these lessons. It's craziness to me. But it's not surprising. Unfortunately, it's not surprising. So that's what I got to say, man. It's another day in the world, man. I'm out of mindset. I'm just going to do what I can to try to awaken people to understanding of what it is I see. I'm not interested in saying I'm better than anybody or chosen for anything or any of that stupid stuff. I don't have to be insecure in that way. I know God don't have to be like that. This is one of those situations where you just got to look at people and say, if you're going to make mistakes that others made, you're going to fall to the fate that they fell to. It's not deeper than that. You want to annihilate entire people and remove the fruit from the land, and there's not going to be anything there to save you when the wrath of the Lord comes about. So you can go ahead and try to annihilate all those people and act like it's going to be just you there to live in heavenly happiness, but there is an actual God and you're playing with him. It's literally what that is. Bdf 44, thank y'all for watching. I'm out.